Hello students, welcome once again to part 5 of Evans Tryson O-Level. So Jackson checked McClary's briefcase once again, found a small inflated rubber tube in it, left it there as it is because McClary said he was having piles and that would give him some comfort if he keeps it on the chair and sits on it. And he only took away the paper knife from his briefcase. Now the examiner, the invigilator, he was giving Evans question paper, and he was instructing, he was telling him to write the index number and the center number. Governor was listening to all this conversation, okay? Through the help of the receiver, Governor was listening to all this conversation that McClary was instructing Evans to write the index number, the center number, and the time was 9:20 a.m. and if the exam was going to start. The invigilator told him that he will tell Evans when the exam is, when he is supposed to start writing. Evans pointed at Stephens and asked McClary that will he stay over there, because Stephens was also sitting inside the cell only. McClary said that's the matter of the jail authority, he can't do anything about it, he can't say anything about it. Now Governor was hearing the conversation, okay? So Governor was hearing the conversation that Evans raised an objection when he found Stephens sitting there inside the cell. So he rang Jackson and he instructed Jackson to ask Stephens to come out of the cell, remain outside the cell, outside the door, and keep on watching Evans to the peephole. No need to sit inside, because Governor felt that maybe they were overdoing things. Maybe they were giving too much importance to Evans. He does not deserve to get so much importance. Understood? Then the Governor heard the exchanges of conversation between Jackson and Stephens. Stephens came out. Finally, at 9:25 a.m., the exam started. Okay? The exam, which was supposed to start at 9:15, finally started at 9:25 a.m. Alright? At 9:40 a.m., a phone call came. Okay? Phone call came to the Governor. From where? From the office of the Examinations Board office. From the Examinations Board office at 9:40, a phone call came for the Governor. And what was the phone call for? To inform the Governor that there was a correction slip. Someone had forgotten to put the correction slip in the question paper, in the envelope of the question paper. So, if the Governor makes an arrangement so that the correction could reach the examinee, then that will be very nice of him. Governor said, of course he will make the arrangement, but then he started thinking that is it a fake call? Is it a hoax? Was it a call of Evans' accomplice? He was trying to help Evans to escape from the jail. So in order to check whether the call was a fake call or not, he rang back in the number of the Examinations Board office. And on ringing back, he could hear that the line was engaged. The typical sound that we get from a phone when a line remains engaged, that typical beeping sound he heard. Now he was sure that no, the phone call was from the Examinations Board office only, and it was a genuine call. So he should make arrangement so that this thing reaches Evans, the correction slip reaches Evans. He called Jackson again and for this thing, and the correction was given to him, and the message was sent to McClary what correction has to be met. Now Governor could hear Mr. McClary talking and asking Evans to change to write down the correction. The correction was that there was a word which was written goldenen, and Zam goldenen Loen, it should be Zam golden Loen, not goldenen Loen, but it should be Zam golden Loen. This was the correction. In the question paper it was written goldenen Loen, it should be golden Loen. The invigilator, Mr. McLeary, his accent was very fine, very nice. In his nice accent, he gave this instruction to Evans. Governor heard it, sitting from his office. Okay? The governor listened to it, and governor was smiling, because governor, when he was in his school days, he had also learned German, though he had forgotten much of it, but he knew German a little bit though. Now he was thinking, governor was thinking, that do Evans really understand anything of German language? Whatever correction was done, whatever correction was made, was he understanding it? The governor was thinking. Again the phone came. The governor was lost in his thoughts when again another phone call came for him. This time the phone call was from the magistrate's court. And what was the phone call for? The phone call was for requesting the governor to send some police officers along with a van, because it was a case, there was a case, a remand case in the magistrate's court, and some police officers were needed. Some policemen were needed. Governor once again became suspicious. Once again he thought maybe all these phone calls were coming according to the planning made by Evans in order to escape from the jail, so that more policemen should move away from Oxford prison. Less policemen should remain over there, so that it becomes easy for him to escape. Governor was wondering, were all these calls coming according to the plan chalked out by Evans? He could not decide. He was very, you can say, in a dilemma. He was very he was rather perplexed, completely confused. Okay? At 10:45 a.m., everything was still. Now Stephens, who was waiting there outside the cell of Evans, at an alternate of 1 minute, he was observing Evans. Understood? At an alternate 1 minute time, he was constantly observing Evans. And whenever he was observing Evans, only one thing he could see: Evans was sitting with a pencil, with a pen on his lips, and looking at something, as if the answers were going to come from somewhere. He was not writing anything. Okay, this was the thing. So Stephens also thought, what is the need to watch him at an alternate of every 1 minute? So gradually it became 2 minutes and 3 minutes. Okay. Now McLeary, he could see Stephens from outside the cell. McLeary was also sitting on his chair. He had become a bit tilted, in a tilted position. He was sitting over there, reading the paper, the Church Times that he had brought with him. And Evans, with the pen on his lips, he was simply sitting over there and not writing anything at all. Evans was not writing anything at all. So at 10:50 a.m., once again the receiver rang. The receiver made some sound in the governor's office. And governor could hear that it was Evans who was talking with the invigilator McLeary, seeking permission from him to cover himself with a blanket because he was feeling cold. Okay? So, the governor heard this, that Stephens was taking permission from the invigilator whether he could cover himself with a blanket, because it was very cold inside the cell and he was feeling cold. This was the only thing that the governor heard. And the McLeary gave him permission to cover himself with a blanket. This much conversation the governor heard. Okay, this much today only in part 5 of the